Hi everyone, welcome to Big Tiny Dreams. I'm going to be making a fall soup today. Today's October 1st. I'm not sure when this will air, but and oddly enough, here in Texas, it has heated up again to the 90s. And I'm like, oh dang, because I want fall soup. So I'm going to start making fall soups in hopes that it will turn cool enough to enjoy them more. Of course, I'll enjoy them anyway. But I showed y'all in one of my videos a cookbook that I have. It's an old Betty Crocker one, and I'll show you the recipe I'm about to make. It's sweet potato soup. So here we go. Oh, by the way, this recipe was years and years before they ever had an Instapot, because the book is from 1991. So I'm going to use the Instapot because I just, why not? Make everything faster nowadays. So I'm going to try and convert that recipe to Instapot, which is behind me. So yeah, still disregard all the construction that was at my house is still not put together, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, we can still cook when the house ain't put together, right? Okay. Anyway, here we go. Now here's the soup in my cookbook. Of course, I don't have a cute dish like that. But there's the soup that I'm going to be making. This is it here, sweet potato soup. And it is in my Betty Crocker 40th anniversary edition cookbook. So, I forgot to get the pecans out. But yeah, I guess you just kind of sprinkle them on top. I don't know what the other thing is in there because the green stuff is not in the recipe, but I'll figure it out. It looks like chives. But here we go. Okay, here's some ingredients. The pecans I think are just to top with, and half. I don't need that much half and half, of course, but I have another soup I plan to make. It's not going to be in the same video, but I want to use it for a couple of other soups to make lunches with. You see it calls for nutmeg. These are I use these little jars. I don't know if it was Ball or Mason or some other brand, and I just wrote nutmeg on top. I want to get the cute little lids where I can put the little sticker like I did the other stuff. It doesn't call for orange peel, but it calls for orange juice. So I thought, why not? I have this. So, and it calls for a cup of chicken broth, but this is 14.5 ounces. So, and it only calls for a fourth a cup of orange juice. 1.5 pounds peeled steamed sweet potatoes. I'm going to try and do them in the Instapot. I'm going to guess how long, because these are frozen. Or actually, I could probably just do those in the microwave. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, I only need 1.5 pounds, and these are 10 ounces each. So, yeah, half a pound is 8 ounces, and 1 pound is 16 ounces. I'll do the math a little bit. I might need more than that, but I do have some frozen butternut squash that I could throw in there, and of course salt. So here we go. So yeah, I will need 4 more ounces than what I have here. So I'm going to throw in some butternut squash. I have a bag of frozen butternut squash, so that's how I'm going to modify the recipe. And I didn't think about, I could just steam these in the bag. So yeah, maybe I don't need the Instapot after all. We'll see. All right, I made some changes because I realized I have one bag of these in the microwave right now, but I need 4 more ounces. Is it 4 more? Yeah, I need 4 more ounces because these are 10 ounces each. I need 1.5 pounds, which I did the math is 24 ounces. So I'll do 4. I guess I'll steam the whole thing, do 4 ounces of that, and put the rest in something, a container and in the fridge or whatever. And of course, as I said, it doesn't call for orange peel, but I thought it would give it a nice little kick. So we'll see. I've got the other microwaving. We'll be back. Now it says to put in a blender after you steam it, but I have this immersion blender that I think that was a wedding present. So I'm just going to use that in this pan right here or pot. Just disregard that. My daughter decided to make some cookies real quick. I had cleaned the stove and all. Now I got little crumbs on it, but that's okay. We had chocolate chip cookies, so we're fine. I just took that one out of the microwave. It's hot. Okay, so now I'm going to run these in. And I have a scale. I can measure the 24 ounces. So we'll be right back. You know, after smelling my butternut squash cook, it just smells so good and makes me think of fall. I might, instead of doing just a little bit of butternut squash, do a bag of pumpkin, a bag of butternut squash, and then maybe do the extra 4 ounces out of the pumpkin rather than just 4 ounces of butternut squash. See, that's how I do. I mix up stuff all the time. You know, I go by recipe and sometimes I change it up a little bit and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But we will find out, okay? So here we go. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I just put the pot on the scale here. So I'm going to empty the bags in here till it gets 24 ounces. Then I'm going to take it to the stove and show you what I do next. Okay, that's 24.2 ounces. I don't think that'll make that much of a difference. So I'm going to take it over to the stove. Now it wants me to add, I think, a cup of chicken broth and then puree it. So I'm going to have to figure out how to film this and do this at the same time because, yeah, same old problem. My film crew didn't show up today, so it's just me. I have this old Special K measuring cup that came with a box of cereal years ago. So I'm going to try and pour half of it. Let me see. That looks about half of it, and get my immersion blender. Now I will say the butternut squash is already really soft compared to, I might keep saying pumpkin, but I mean sweet potato. They kind of look and smell a lot the same, so here we go. Oops, I'm splashing it. So I like this better than putting it in my blender. Not that I don't have a blender, but if I don't have to dirty up 2 things at once, then that's great. It says to put in the rest of the chicken broth. Whoa. Let me make sure it's good and mixed. Hold on. Got my trusty Pioneer woman. I know that joke's getting old. But let's see. Don't want to miss any of this out of here. Come on. I'm going to add the rest of the chicken broth. And it says 1/4 cup of orange juice. Okay. 1/4 cup of orange juice. Now I'm thinking I might add a sprinkle of the orange peel, as I was telling y'all about. Yeah, oh, just a sprinkle. Okay, I'm going to heat this up. Oh. I'm going to heat that up and see how that turns out. So now I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. This is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Going to sprinkle that in. It says to stir continually. I think, let me see, I'm going to get my whisk, my non-stick whisk. So it's 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Got 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is pink Himalayan. Anyway, you put a cup of half and half now that it's hot. I'm stirring with the wrong hand because I'm right-handed, but ooh. This might actually be good. It seems very simple ingredients, but it says to do the half and half, cup of half and half, and then a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Let me see. It says to, as I stir in the cup of half and half. Once I get that good and mixed, I stir in a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. I thought the pecans are going to just be like, you know, something you garnish on top, but apparently it goes in it. So I will be taste testing this in a little bit. Let's see. You know, I'm thinking, I may be wrong, but a little cinnamon might actually be good on this. So Anyway, I'm going to stop there and let it just kind of simmer a little bit, and I'll let y'all see me taste it. Okay, I'm going to scoop a little of this into my little bowl here. I'm just going to do a little bit to taste, and I'll show you here. Hold on. Tell me when. Okay, I'm going to take a little taste. That's actually good, but it feels like maybe a little cinnamon or actually a little bit more sweet. I know this sounds weird, but I'm thinking maybe a little applesauce in it. I know I like savory soups, but with like sweet potato and butternut squash, I like a little bit of sweet. So I'm going to try that and let y'all know. I know this is going to sound weird, but I had some unsweetened Granny Smith applesauce. I just put a spoonful in my bowl, sprinkled a little cinnamon. It was good like that. I'm not going to say this is my favorite. Depends on what you like. I'll eat it. It's good. It's just not something I'm like, oh, this is so good, I'm going to make it again. But it was good. If you like a simple, to me it's healthy. Now, some people might not find half and half as healthy, but it was really good. It just felt like it needed a little something more. But I'll let y'all be the judge of that. I'll put the recipe in the description below, and you can tell me guys. You can tell me, guys, girls, people, what y'all think and what y'all might add or delete, or if you won't even make it at all, or if you made it and taste it and like it. Yeah, and if you like this, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, hit the subscribe and the little bell that gives you notifications if you'd like to know when I put more videos up. Let me know what you think. I want to know how the recipe worked for everybody else, or if they have any ideas or suggestions as to kick it up a notch. Anyway, you guys be blessed. Thanks for watching. Bye.